All right, 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 all right. Y'all like the little tune right here? It's part of the program. It's downloading music into the program. This is called Feeding the Ducks. And it's real cute. Let me turn it down. I'm gonna have to turn it off. Usually I try to have the music playing in the background, but it's low on my end. But when I do the playback, honey, y'all can barely hear me. Okay. But good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, honey. I am Big Meach, and this is a Big Meach moment, okay? And I'm coming to you because normally I would be at the donut factory today, but I had the day off. This is my quiet before the storm, honey. Okay. As we are preparing for, another year's end, honey. We're at the end. This is the last Wednesday of 2023. We're moving into 2024. And I think what I'm going to do is at the bottom, I'm going to let this banner roll. Okay. I have my motto for this year, or for coming into 2024. I am opening every door. Okay. Opening every door. And I am beating the high score in 2024. That's my motto. Okay. That is my motto for 2024. I'm opening every door and I'm beating the high score in 2024. Okay. As we prepare, I don't want to hear New Year's resolutions. I don't want to hear none of that. I just want you guys to go into the new year with a mission statement, a purpose. If you got a little mantra, whatever that you can say throughout the year, I want you guys to keep that together, because we are on the precipice of something big. And I know we say that every year, whatever. But for me, I know that I am, because having run for mayor, you've heard me say this on a few occasions, running for mayor, honey, has given me, it's elevated my bar. Okay. So that's I'm going to encourage you all to do the same. Today is December 27th. It is the second day of Kwanzaa. So for those of y'all who are celebrating Kwanzaa, I'm going to say Kuji Chagalia to you. That's today's principle. Self-determination, which is my favorite principle, right? And in this, it's just that, honey. Self-determination. You do not allow anyone, anything, anybody, any man, woman, child, boss, circumstance. You do not let anything or anybody define or determine your worth, your value, your narrative, who you are, who you're supposed to be. You let nobody, no thing determine. This is self-determination. Not even yourself. When you are at a point where it's time to change and grow because you've outgrown some things that you once believed but don't believe anymore, or it fits no purpose in your life at this point, it's okay to say, I've shifted, I've changed, my way of thinking is different. It's okay. Uji Chagalia, honey, self-determination. That there is what this principle is. I'm coming to you because I've been plagued with a few things that's going on in the media today. And I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can. And I'm trying not to get involved in a lot of the fodder, because what is happening is we got a lot of entertainment fodder, but it's spilling over into everything. People are going into all kinds of debates. Y'all are cussing each other out. You guys, y'all heard me say this, bro. Y'all can't tell folks about their Jesus, okay? And another thing is that you cannot tell black folks about who they supposed to believe in and this, that, and the other. When it comes down to all this shit about T.D. Jakes, P. Diddy, Tyler Perry, allegedly, Christian Keys, allegedly the Robert Smith, I guess that's the billionaire who paid the the tuition off for the guys at Morehouse. All of this alleged bullshit. Okay, it's alleged, and until somebody come out with proof and this, that, and the other, it's all fabrication at the moment. It's all fodder. It is all clickbait. It is all stuff to get us talking. Okay, I'm going to start here with the TD Jakes thing, and then I'm going to move into this whole supposed feud between Taraji and Oprah. Okay, because y'all done let y'all imaginations run wild, and it's okay if that's how you feel, because all right, you can't help how you feel, but you can help how you react to it. So let's start with this. We have been hearing this whole thing with the TD Jakes thing, honey, whether he done sat down here, he did this, he been at the Diddy parties, honey. Oh, they say he's a power bottom, da 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 d, yada da da da. I just heard today, I did not know that the elder two boys of his children, those were Sarita's kids before she married him. So I never knew that. But the question becomes, why do we give a good goddamn about any of it? Why do we care? Why do we care? Are we looking to expose the hypocrisy in what religion teaches and carried on? Because if any of these allegations are true, then that means that this man who has been this staunch traditional preacher who has been under fire lately because within the last maybe 10 years or so, his ideas on homosexuality, they say, has changed, and he has said that, and I've heard him say on a couple of talk shows or whatever, you align yourself with the churches that believe how you believe and this, that, and the other. He said, for me, I'm a traditional pastor. I believe in the word of the Bible, and this is what I teach, and yada, yada. But he seemed to have allowed himself to have a little saving grace. Now that the Pope has set up and has said it's okay to bless domestic partnerships and carrying on. Yes, he's okay with that. But he is still saying marriage is one thing, domestic partnerships are another. But, it's okay for same-sex domestic partnerships to be blessed. The Pope has set up there and had transgender children at the dinner. He called them to the place, the Vatican or wherever he had the breakfast or whatever. It was a day to feed the poor and all of that. And yada, yada, yada. Okay, but he's sitting down with the trans children and carrying on and have invited them and given them space. And he is, opening up the doors. And so because of this, and I'm bringing the Pope up because we're seeing that Christianity and the way how folks are seeing things, that's starting to evolve. We know about the late Bishop Carlton Pearson, who was a hero of mine, when he got to talk about the church of inclusion and being able to say these folks are welcome at the table and blah, 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 blah. TD Jakes is now up under, scrutiny and up under all of the rigmarole, okay, of all of that, right? And now these allegations. Well, again, what are we going to do with the information? Are we looking to expose them and say, hey, you're hypocritical, this, that, and other? What are we supposed to do with this information? Because, as far as I'm concerned, is this. I can care less where he dipping his dick or who's dipping dick in him. Okay? Now, on a slightly personal note, would I do it? Yes, because he's not the most attractive man, honey, but his prowess and carrying on is all of that, honey. I fantasize about what sex would be like with him, in my own personal things or whatever. Now, y'all may disagree and carrying on. Y'all may say he's the ugliest thing, but ugly children usually have the best. Well, okay, I'll let that be. But, and then he's a big guy. I like big men. But nonetheless, what are we supposed to do with all this information? How is this going to help anything and anybody move forward in the world outside of the whole Hollywood aspect of men are raped and groomed and sexually assaulted too? If that's going to be the issue, then are we willing to say, and I said this when on Dish and Tea about the emasculation of men. Are we now going to be in a position to where we're going to say men can emasculate another man publicly? To where we do not allow men to have that freedom to come forth and say, this happened to me. We criticize and ridicule them. Everybody now saying Christian Keys is trying to go for a money grab. Everybody saying, oh, well, now that Cassie done did it and got her money within 24 hours and settled on that. Now, this has created a precedent for people to come out of the woodwork and go ballistic, okay? But I challenge you, listen to the stories, okay? Listen to what's going on, and then let's find out what's what. Because now, here's the other thing that we have to address, and that there is, what do we do when our heroes and sheroes are not heroes and sheroes? They're human beings. How do we as people deal with that? See, one of the things about this that I'm finding very difficult to accept and all of that is that we have allowed ourselves as society, we do this to ourselves. We give up, we get ourselves into position till we forget that the people that we're praising and this, that, and the other are human beings. We forget that they got pasts. We forget that they are currently making mistakes as they move along. We forget that they make bad decisions, poor decisions. And yet, we want to hold them. We always say, well, you are of the cloth. You are law enforcement. You are a politician. We hold you at a higher standard. Well, how come everybody else got to be held at a higher standard instead of just a regular standard? Shouldn't that standard be the standard for everybody? But we always say we hold you at a higher standard. Okay, and why is that? Why do we put folks way up here as if they're untouchable, they're not supposed to fall or whatever, and we give them this deity status and yet forget that they're human at the same time? Look at your parents. Okay, for those of you who grew up in a two-parent household and still had a two-parent household, you didn't go through divorce and carrying on. What was that like for you when you realized that your parents are human beings and they were not the superheroes that you thought that they were? What did that do to you when you realized that things that you thought your parents could do that were that was real easy, so you thought, when you realize it's not, and the struggle is real? When you realize that the struggle is real, what did that do to you? How did you process, or are you still processing that? Because that may be the thing. Most of us as adults, we are still processing the fact that our parents are not superheroes, they're not infallible, that they are human. Okay, adult children, if you will. Betty, what about your grandparents? Ooh. Okay, what about your grandparents? Why is it that we're here? What are we supposed to do with this information about TD Jakes if it proves to be true? If this proves to be true, and we have ranked TD Jakes to be right there, as far as the Christian community is concerned, when it comes down to pastors and bishops and all those who have this prestige, TD Jakes is the leader in the preaching. You know, he's the lead. He is the man. He's the preacher's preacher. Okay? And carried on. He's the authority. So what is that going to do if any of this stuff comes out to be true? Is the church going to crumble, particularly the black church? Remember back in the day, how many of y'all remember when Tammy Faye and Jim Baker had their fall from grace? Okay, because he had his infidelities and record, whatever, all that shit he was going through. How many of y'all remember when Jimmy swaggered? I've sinned before you, because he was caught with a hooker. Okay, and all of this. How many of y'all remember a number of other folks? Hell, we just went through Creflo Dollar and the money thing with his church. You know, wanting him to buy a $60 million jet and all this old calamity. What are we going to do if any of these allegations prove to be true? What is that going to do with the makeup and the breakup of the church? Because when Carlton Pearson got to talking about the church of inclusion and saying that, okay, you know what? Hell may not be what we've been saying that it is, because if we say Jesus paid it all and Jesus conquered hell, then that means this is not what we say it is anymore, right? Supposedly. So what is this information going to do? How is that going to change or fortify your life if any of this becomes true? Now, for those of you who are staunch Christians, and those of y'all who believe in the inerrant word of God, okay, what does that do to you? Huh? What does that? Because y'all quick to say, you know, how does it go? Speak not ill against the man of God. Okay, now y'all quick to do that one. But we forget that the man of God is still human. All right. But y'all want to sit up there and say, oh, I don't sin anymore because I'm covered in the blood. So now what is it still sin? Because it was done in the dark. And what's done in the dark comes to the light of night, as long as he repents and go before the throne of grace, that everything is going to be all right. Are y'all still going to pay y'all tithes and offers to that church, that huge mega church? Because y'all left Carlton's ass alone. Y'all left Carlton destitute. Huh? What is this supposed to do? And then what is this going to mean? Because if he is this wonderful, wonderful old power bottom, what is that going to mean for all of the people who he's admonished? Okay, under the guise of homosexuality is a sin and you're going to burn in hell. What does that mean then? Because see, here we have the leader who is supposed to be the guru. He is the guru. He is the man, honey. He is the spiritual authority. If any of this proves to be true, what does that then do then? See, I'm going to equate that to how I'm seeing the law. Now that marijuana is legal, everybody who's in jail right now because they were carrying marijuana, whatever, everybody should now be released from prison because it's legal now. So why do I got to keep serving a term to where shit is legal now? I should not have to serve any more time because you make this legal in those states where it is. See, I'm going to equate that to this. Okay. I'm going to equate that with it. That's all in the same wheelhouse as far as I'm concerned. Okay. If any of this proves to be true, any of it, okay, then what does that say? Because see, here's another thing. Jake's, and now this is not being said. I'm putting the clues together here. This is Demetrius talking, and this is purely speculation. There's no proof. All right. However, I'm putting the pieces together because in Christian Keys' thing, he says, I got recordings, and when you hear his voice, you're going to know it immediately because he has such a distinctive voice. And when I heard that, and then all this stuff come out of it, Diddy and this, that, and the other, TD Jakes' voice is so unmistakably his, child, to where at any given moment, if you press, you know him in the dark, you know him in your sleep. And TD and Tyler have been doing some hanging around. And let me give y'all a little bit of insight. I'm a little nervous about all of this as well. Why am I nervous, you may ask? That's because, you know, Tyler Perry Studios down here that's on Fort McPherson Army Base here in Atlanta? Well, the parts that's undeveloped has been bought. TD Jakes and his company got a green light to where they could do development over there. I think they bought the rest of it. Okay, to where they're supposed to be putting in housing, shopping, all, you know, the whole mixed-use development thing. I just read maybe last week that TD Jakes and his team of people, they just got greenlit to pick that up. Okay, so what are these allegations going to do with that business? And with all of that that's supposed to be coming to Atlanta. Now, associating this with the Christian Keys thing, Tyler and T.D. Jakes, honey, have been involved in carrying on. In fact, I'm believing that Tyler Perry is the studio down here. They've been doing a lot of stuff out of Tyler Perry Studios. And T.D. Jakes got his hand in television and media and carried on. That's his wheelhouse. He want to go there. Are y'all hip to the Lifetime, the 7 Deadly Sins? Stephanie Mills, that's Dear Pride. Okay. That's my sister. All right, but y'all saw Envy, Lust, you know, those are T.D. Jakes' movies. Those are his movies. What's the movie with Taraji? Oh God, what's the movie with Taraji and Jennifer Lewis played her mama in this, and she had the husband and oh God, what's the name of that movie? I can't call the name of it right now, but anyway, she was trying to live above her means, and TD and Sarita was in that one, and TD Jakes, he was one of the executive producers on that. Okay, I'm sitting up here, trying to. He's in this whole Hollywood thing. Okay, he's in this whole Hollywood thing. So now, in going through all this, what does this mean for his brand, for his business? And carrying on, because we're so fixated on wanting to say, ha ha, yeah, you a power bottom, you did this, you a predator, you a sexual assault, you are deviant, we so busy trying to get into all of that to where, okay, now, if it's true, if any of this is true, and he hurt people and this, that, and the other, I'm not saying he should not pay for his crimes and this, that, and the third. At the same time, I'm asking this, what is going to be enough? Because y'all want to say that if he just go and repent and go to Jesus, it's supposed to be all right. But what is that going to do for his reputation? Because repenting is spiritual. That's between you and the Lord. The rest of the world ain't got to accept that repentance. The rest of the world, oh, I can forgive, but I won't forget. What's that going to do to his brand and to his business, especially in the cancel culture? But we're so busy saying we need to cancel that. Don't fuck with it. Get the sponsors. You make sure the sponsors don't fuck with it. What is that supposed to do? What is that supposed to do with all of that? Because, see, now you're coming for his livelihood. This ain't got nothing to do with you. These are the action happened between those who have been the accusers. But now the rest of the world is going to sit down there and want to jump on this and want to treat this as if it's your problem too. When, damn it, here's the problem that I had with that. When it was going on, and for those of y'all who were suffering in silence, or for those of y'all who knew in the background what the fuck was going on, you didn't do shit about it. You ain't said nothing about it. Okay, and as a matter of fact, for those of y'all who got a little cashola with it, you sat there and took the coin and didn't say a word. So now what? Huh? So were you part of the problem? Because, see, if that's the case, then that goes all the way up there with the R. Kelly and all them other folks who are grooming and carrying on what we said that they did all that shit. See, let's do this, okay? Because we get on the Catholic Church, and we've been talking about the Catholics forever. The priests been doing it to the altar boys and to the children and the children. We've been knowing that the Catholics been on this little piece of thing for a long piece of time. Okay. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Not easily broken. That's the one. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you, children. Okay. That's the movie. But we've been knowing the Catholics been doing that for a long time. And us as Black folks, we've been knowing this kind of shit been going on for a little piece of a minute. I mean, it is still alleged, and God forbid if this is true, it is still alleged that Aretha Franklin's own father is the father of her first child. They've been saying that for years. Now, we don't know if that's true or not, but that's the shit that's been out there in the streets. And that the child, because she was 12 years old when she had that baby. 12. Pregnant. And the baby has special needs. No, and she named him after the daddy. After her father, she named the baby Clarence. So we don't know. It's just been a whole bunch of talk. So now what are we going to do? So this kind of shit ain't like it's not new to us. We've been knowing pastors who've been getting folks pregnant in the church. We've been knowing pastors who've been fucking on everybody's wives and carrying on. If you go on YouTube and look it up, you see folks that got shot in the church. Folks that got pastors shit done fought in the church because the deacons that came up and said, you've been sleeping with my wife. All of that in the church. And this is the black church. And we've been sweeping this shit up under the rug as if we wanted to pray it away. We're going to give it to God. We just up there and say, as long as you repent, you're going to be cool. And the same ones who keep going to repent, that keep doing it and backsliding, if you will. But the gays backslide or whatever, we going to burn the hell regardless. Oh, no. And because I backslid, honey, and I didn't get married to no woman. Or maybe I did get married to a woman and I backslid. Oh, no, honey, God is never going to forgive that, according to you. But now here we got the guru. We got the preacher with all these horrific allegations. Okay? And all y'all going to say is he need to go pray it away? And then he get his old bullshit ass, this thing that he did the other day. Who tuned in to hear what I have to say. For those of you who tuned in and you care about me, or whatever it was. If you're looking to see if I'm going to address this, I'm not going to address lies. I'm not going to address lies. The pulpit is for me. Why should I address a lie when I can tell a truth? He said a truth. When I could tell a truth and talk of the irrevocable word of God. But there will come a time. Really? So now you want to put all this, the pulpit. This is what it's for. The pulpit is to tell. He said a truth, not the truth. A truth. Catch his words now. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not going to address the lies when I could tell a truth. Why talk in the first place? What we said about Christian, if you're not going to, right? Now, again, I'm not going to dismiss anybody's trauma, because what I appreciate about Christian was he said, I purposely let the statutes of limitations run out because I did not want this to be a money grab or folks think it's a money grab. He said, I purposely let the statutes of limitations run out. Okay? So, all right. But now we got all this speculation. And then you said two men, anyway. And then he had a girl in there too who grabbed the shit. Okay? But the guy who he said implicated got us in the mind of the dude who paid off the tuition, because he's always, you go around paying HBCU tuitions, and carrying on. So it has a lot of speculation, and even and we don't know what's true or not, but the seeds have been planted. So if none of this is true, then what is it going to mean for those who making all these implications? And then here's the thing. See, he can always say, well, I didn't name anybody. I didn't name no names. That's the general public done said X, Y, and Z. But all the context clues, honey, if you follow the breadcrumbs, okay, if you drop a crumbs and I'll pick it up and say, oh my God, I'm going to get to a loaf of bread in a minute. Or follow it over to the witch's house and Hansel and Gretel. Didn't they follow the damn the candy and the breadcrumbs or whatever and found the house, and the witch was about to put them in the stove and cook them? So what is this information supposed? What is this supposed to mean to us? What is it supposed to mean? Everybody on Diddy. You know, we got all these Hollywood moguls and carrying on that, you know, everybody. Let me explain something from my particular point of view. I hate that we have to say that. Oh, in my opinion, you know damn well it's my opinion. I'm the motherfucker talking. Okay, these are my thoughts. Okay, but I hate that we have to preference that. Okay, but here's what I think. Okay, we all know, and we have been saying this forever. And even when I interview celebrities and carrying on, that Hollywood is sex, drugs, rock and roll. Okay, in order to get the deal, we know about what the casting couch is. Listen, we got folks who sit down there. We got the video vixens. We got the groupies and the flunkies. And y'all heard me say this on several occasions that we have turned the acronym thought into a whole fucking culture. When the acronym thought, that whole over there, THOT, comes from the whole groupie, that's that groupie shit. That there come from the Hollywood parties, those who there in the scantily clothed out, you know, scantily clothed and things, trying to make it and think that that's supposed to be their come up. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be the way to do it. And it's not just the women, because I've seen men come up in there. You know, you got a big old, you've been blessed, honey, and talented. So what do? You wear the pants and you wear the little shorts or whatever that's going to show how big your printy is. Okay, you sit up there, you wear the muscle shirts or whatever to show your muscles and carrying on, and yada, yada, yada. Skin flawless because, you know, cocoa butter down and carrying on, smelling good. Why? Because you want that attention. You want to be noticed. And if you go into those kind of parties, you know what the fuck is going on. Whether you participate or not, even if you just want to be seen, honey, the whole idea is to make an impression. I shaves my hair, make sure that I ain't got no peach fuzz or whatever. I wear my fedoras. I come up in as a big boy looking cute. Why? Because I know it's going to make an impression. When we take the photo ops, honey, I want to be seen. Okay, until we get this grill together, honey, we know how to give it a zhuzh. You know? We do all that. Why? Because we know what to expect. You know, if I'm going around XYZ in this area, I know XYZ may happen. Especially now, let's use Diddy, because they talking about the Diddy parties or whatever. You know, this is the rap world. Y'all know Diddy was part of that East Coast, West Coast shit. Y'all know, and most of the folks on his label are former drug dealers and carrying on. So you know what to expect. In the video, they're talking about puff, puff, pass, and everybody smoking blunts and shit, and you turning up motherfucking 40s and Cristal and Patron. That's in the videos. So if you know all this, why is it not in your brain cells that if you go to a Hollywood party, that this kind of activity is going to go on? We got to get lit. Hell, we do that in everything that's part of quote unquote African American culture that we say is keeping it real and shit. That's the shit that's there. And here now, they say they got TD Jakes at the parties. Is that a crime? No, not a crime. But here's who is of the cloth, who's upstanding. Why are you seen in that kind of light? It's not about not having a photo op, but this man got his head all on your shoulders and shit, to where tradition said, let not your good be ill spoken of. Huh? Let not your good be ill spoken. Why are you in these particular environments for long? And here's the thing. No one is saying, oh, he was there and hit it. They're not saying that you were there for 10 minutes and left. They got the photo ops, they got this, and then they said you stayed. No one is saying, oh, yeah, I saw him there, but he wasn't there for long. Oh no, that's not true. He wasn't there for long. He came in and spoke. He talked about the organization or whatever, and after that, he had to go. No one is saying that. No one is coming to your defense and saying, "Oh, okay." No one is giving that. Why? Very interesting. Here, very, very interesting. Let me go to some of these comments because I see y'all coming up in here. I thought the twins were the oldest. Right, they are Mrs. Jake's oldest kids. Cora, Sarah, and Thomas Jr. are his and First Lady Jake's together. Okay, I don't follow him like that, so I did not know. My parents are inspiration, never to get married, even though I still have that dream. Okay, it makes us feel better about our pathetic lives that famous people fall. Jan, you onto something? Okay, hey, fat, what's up, baby? I miss you too, sweetheart. Okay, she said, amen. Okay, we should have never made saints out of ministers, entertainers, etc. They are made of flesh. I totally agree. Okay, miss you guys. I need to come back on. Okay, wait a minute. Slapping TV. Hey, baby, we'll come on. Okay, yeah, I had put that up there. Okay. You know I got you, Meach. Okay. Okay. Whitney Williams have been calling this out for years. All the while they called her crazy. I guess it's not as far-fetched as everyone thought. You know what? Let me tell you, and let's go right there, Valid Thor. You know, a lot of folks may not recognize this or whatever, because if you didn't follow her radio shows, and many of us didn't because this was before we started streaming, you know, and before we really got online, she was out of New York, okay? And unless you were in New York, you know, you didn't get it until we started being able to listen to it on the computer. But her tagline, how you doing? Okay. In the beginning, when she first started doing that, that was her tagline that said she was cocking everybody's teeth. She would do that, honey, to the children that she would be interviewing, and she knew that shit was going on. She was, how you doing? Okay, well, that's what that was. That was her clocking teeth. Okay. And she got a little heat for it. No, a lot of heat for it. But that's what a lot of that was. So, yeah, you're right. She's been saying this for years. 4 years. And everybody thought she was crazy or whatever. Or those of us who knew what the tea was, you know, as far as her trying to clock somebody's teeth, we all thought it was just a gag. Oh, ha, 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 ha. She's trying to call him out and call him to the carpet and this, that, and the other. Then what happened? Then we started getting these damn folks who were the famous DJ or whatever, you know, got caught with a transgender, a trans sex worker and carrying on. Now, all of a sudden, you know, everybody think you crazy. Now, you know, it done became a whole big to-do, but this is who you are. See, a lot of what we're dealing with these allegations is that folks are not allowed to be themselves. And I blame society. I especially blame you as Black women who deal with men that you do not let be themselves. Y'all want these men to say that you claim you want a strong man because you a strong woman. Okay. But yet you don't let a man be a man, because as soon as he is, or as soon as he shows his vulnerable side, or as soon as he break down or whatever, when you get mad, the first thing you do is throw that shit right back up in his face. The first thing you do is call him all kind of bitch niggas in front of his friends or about him when you mad and you think he ain't doing nothing for you. So a man can't be a man around you. He always got to be this motherfucker super tough thug, because he can't be a man. He only got to be a thug for you. A hood boy, as Fantasia said in the song. Okay. We don't allow that. Okay. And so now y'all mad at us as the queens. Y'all mad at us at the download the DL, and then you want to pimp us for our gaydar. Okay, to see who is and who ain't. Then you get mad when we tell you don't fuck with that one. Now you mad. Well, bitch, what the fuck do you want? What do you want? Don't get mad at me. And this is another thing. Black women, particularly, I have not seen white women do this. do this all the time. As long as I'm finger snapping and I'm cute and saying something cute or whatever, it's all good. But the second I get a boyfriend, or you realize I'm fucking somebody, honey, if it ain't another flip-wristed finger snapping queen, your ass is on your shoulders. And God help you if he's fine on top of it. Because now you mad at me because I got a man that you think that you supposed to have when he was in the pool as a bisexual man. You didn't want to fuck with him because I can't have no nigga like that. You didn't want to fuck with him. But now you mad at me. And then we got shit like this going on in the church because there are a lot of them in the church. They done married you, they got babies by you and carrying on. And yet they still got to go tip because they can't be themselves because you won't let them be. And then you throw God in the middle of it. Oh, God gonna get you. Mm-hmm. So what the fuck do you want? Men, what the fuck do you want? Because you say you're a grown-ass man, but you don't know how to stand up and be one and stand in your truth and stand in your convictions. And then y'all mad at gay folks because we do. And yet all of this, you know what's going to come out? Y'all bitches are going to say, this is part of the LGBT agenda. Y'all going to say, all of this is a part of a fucking agenda to destroy the black man and to destroy the black family. How, Sway? How? Please explain that to me. How the fuck is that us? Our problem? Huh? How? Because hell, I'm a man like you. You push the right buttons after I told you to leave me the fuck alone. Huh? You play pussy, you get fucked. Huh? I done told you going about your business. You gonna sit there want to rub my leg and shit. I say going about your business. I done got up and left. You calling me, you're thirsting, you're thirst trapping, sending me pictures. Sitting with big titties. Okay. You want a thirst trap. And then if you wear me down and I say yes, then I got to deal with bitches sitting up there telling me, oh, it's my fault because it's part of the agenda to emasculate the black man. Because that's what's going to come out now. Because not only is T.D. Jakes alleged to be part of this, he's alleged to be a power bottom. And now that done became part of the vernacular. Everybody, what the fuck is a power bottom? Bitch, just what it is. Just what it is. Ladies, you know what the fuck a power bottom is because that's what you are. You know how to take dick swell, don't you? You know how to let that motherfucker jump, bounce up and down on top of you. You know how to put your leg on the motherfucking banister, and you know how to backflip to say, what? Get it, daddy, hit this shit. Yes, I want you to think about that. Think about how you take dick and how you love to take dick and put all of that onto a man. Right. It's the same shit. Okay? And usually, the power bottoms are also size queens. Ha! Meaning that they want 9 or better to pound and to give them a couple of horror stab sessions. And we used to call that back in the day. But what is all this supposed to mean? If all this is true, if it is all true, what are you going to get out of it? That becomes the question. What are you going to get out of it? Outside of I told you so. Ooh, child, I told y'all. Ooh, see him and Eddie Long and stuff. You know, they all in them circles. I told y'all. That's all we going to get? Is that all? Is that all we going to get out of this? And if that's all you're going to get out of it, do it now. Just say it now. Move on with your damn life, honey. Move on because it's not your problem. I have not heard nobody say, oh child, if any of this is true, what's gonna happen with Sarita? Okay, I ain't heard that. His wife. Okay, how his kids gonna react? Didn't he just have a few years ago? Wasn't his son arrested in the park for exposing himself to the officer because he was out there cruising? We ain't talking about that part, huh? So yeah, but we reading too much. We putting too much into we. Even me, I'm up here doing this because it has just consumed everything. And the churches are, listen, child, stop. The gospel music workshops should have told y'all this shit a long time ago. We done heard about this from James Cleveland. We done heard about this from Charles Nix out of Detroit, Reverend Charles Nix. We've been hearing this kind of shit for years. Years. The gospel music workshop, bitch, ain't nothing but motherfucking black gay pride training camp. Because when the year I was home and it came to Detroit, bitch, everybody was cruising Hart Plaza. I was like, I was down at the water that particular day. I was out there with my nephew, and I had my Iyanla Vanzant book, honey, because we would go by the water, I would read out loud, and we were having one of those kind of moments. Child, I'm seeing all these children carrying all that. I like big old guys. So I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute. But then I started noticing how they walk. And so, we know who cruising. Because now you cruising, looking, eyeing each other up and down and shit. And then I started seeing an abundance. I'm like, what is in town? Then they said, oh, this is the gospel music workshop. Bitch, stop. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We've been knowing this for years and years and years. I'll be 54 in March. Been going on forever. Now all of a sudden we want to make it some kind of do I did it. Okay. All right, that's enough about them, child. I want to see what the hell is going to come out of this. Let me go back to the comments. Don't forget, some people create negative, sensational stories about themselves to become famous. Can't fuck with that one either, Jan, because you right on with that one. Hey, Rod, what's going on? Do you remember when Eddie Murphy was in some mess too? Yes, I remember when Eddie Murphy was in some mess because Eddie, listen, I had a reliable source to tell me that was true because the rumor was, allegedly, that he was into trans girls. And he's out there on La Cienega Boulevard in California, honey, cruising. And he had set up there, say he liked girls with pretty feet, trans girls with pretty feet. That's a come when what's the name of the movie? But Boomerang was always about the pretty feet and carrying on. That there, I've always said that he was playing on himself and made a joke out of that because that's what the rumor was, that he liked trans girls with pretty feet, and he would always go for the ones that had high heels on, the little Blanche Devereaux shoes. He always went for them because, of course, they had their feet out or whatever, open-toe shoes and carrying on. And so he always liked the girls who were very passable and had pretty feet. Now, that's what the rumor was. And that was way back when. Way back when. Okay. How true is it? I can't say for certain. I just say my source was a reliable source. Okay. Bam. Okay. And there you have it. How come gay folks don't shut their door to straight people toxic nonsense? I admit some things ain't worth the brain cells. You know why they don't? For the same reason why straight men go after these damn toxic ass bitches. For the same reason straight women go after these toxic ass motherfuckers and carry it on because they think they can handle it. They want to sit down there and say, oh, it ain't going to happen to me. Oh, this is exciting. Oh my God, this is real trade. Oh my God. And see, a lot of it, the toxicity of it all is because that's what we know. It ain't nothing unless it's dangerous. Isn't it ironic, because we say this all the time, that the good guys always finish last, everybody always wants the rough boy, the bad boy, you know, the image of this, and this. The nerd, Revenge of the Nerds is a movie that's about just that. They were the dregs, they were the uncool ones, they were the they were this. Nobody wanted to be bothered with them. But they were the ones that sat up there and changed the damn world. They were the ones. And then when the pretty girl or the cheerleading girl, honey, got with the nerd because he had the trick of the fucker, and she realized, oh my God, I've been turned out by a nerd. Then now all of a sudden the light bulb went on. Now they said that they had to do that in a sexual manner to say, oh my God, okay, it was sex. But the point still remained that you had to experience them in order to understand them, which means you never got to know them. All this toxicity and carrying on, it's just not a gay thing. It's just that we gay folks are just used to it because we've always had to hide in the dark and carrying on. Because remember, the gay children are the ones where all the down low children, you cussed us out and call us all kind of fags and sisters and shit during the daytime hours. But at night, when your boys ain't around, honey, you go rat-a-tat-tatting at 2 in the motherfucking morning. See, because you need some understanding. You know who to call. And then everything is on the hush. We just keep that on the low. We keep that between us. Oh, I'm not straight. I'm not gay. I just fuck around from time to time. Because I can't mess up my family. Y'all saw Rustin. Didn't y'all watch Rustin? Y'all saw that. That was in the 60s. The man married. And his wife said, my father is about to give him this church. He's about to have a ministry, honey. And what did the wife do? She called Bayard and said, hello, Mr. Rustin. Yeah, tell my husband it's time for him to come home. Okay, now you may know his heart, but I know his limitations. Click. Ah, bitch. That's what the wife did. So this ain't nothing new in the church. Ain't nothing new. Don't forget Teddy P. How can we forget Teddy P? Teddy Pendergrass was the one that opened up this particular conversation. Teddy Pendergrass's accident, honey, was the conversation that opened up Pandora's box. Okay? A man's man, like Teddy Pendergrass, and all of his women-only concerts are carrying on. The man with all this voice will talk a woman out of her panties. You in a car get into a car accident with a transsexual in your car. That's the first time that word entered into my consciousness. And it took me on a trip because my titties was growing at the time. And I was an anomaly at that time because I was taller than everybody. And, hell, I had breasts growing. I was like, okay, top heavy men wasn't a thing back in, that was 82. I was 12 years old. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Men don't have breasts. Why are my titties growing? That's what sent me through my whole big old thing, honey. Okay. So we can't forget Teddy P. What we got? Hey, Miss Kenya, she said, Big Meach, what's up? Is the bishop. So this I can't be downplayed due to the fact that he is the mega status, etc. I'm just saying, don't crunch me, but I believe that's why people want to know. It's so sensational, adding Puff Daddy, etc. It's an explosive topic. I can't fuck with that because you're right. You're absolutely right, Kenya. Okay. It's the topic. It's what the people want. You know what I'm saying? And as barbaric as that sounds, listen, it would not be all of this if we didn't gravitate to it. And it's got to the point now to where folks like me commenting on it because I'm hearing all the bullshit and be like, wait a minute, pump your brakes. Because we're not thinking like this, and we're trying to put some perspective into it without it becoming a whole big to-do. Because now we got too many cooks in this motherfucking kitchen. Everybody trying to add this and add that. Paprika don't go in here today, girl. Okay? You can't put paprika and say you're going to put some clothes up in here, bitch. No. Finna fuck up the damn stew. You don't put that in. I put cumin, not cloves. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And that's what it is. That's what it is. You know, we are, since the explosion of the internet. Okay, before we had the Inquirer magazines and the Sun and all the rags, right? That you had to go and buy. You bought that shit, right? And everybody, the paparazzi was out and they made up these stories or whatever, and you bought it. And it was real easy to say, no, that ain't real. And oh my God, this is so funny. It was entertainment. And it still is entertainment. The problem is that now that we on this world wide web, everything happens in real time. I press send, bitch. It goes around the world in 2.5 seconds. And it ain't no double back. Because once it's out there, it is out there. Then, of course, everybody clicking, sharing. Okay. So now it done went even further to where it does circle back. And when it circled back, it's coming back with comments. And then everybody get to sit down here and have computer courage. And they get to say the little one-liners and carry on, because all you got is a sound bite. You don't have the full story. You just got the sound bite and looking at that. You see how we do with police brutality clips. All we got is the part where the police officer did their thing. It's very rare that we get the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times we got to wait until the story unfolds and be like, okay, you know what? Here we are. You know, no, the police was right this time. Rarely, but okay, they were right. And then we got to eat crow, because anytime we say the police was right in this particular moment, then it looks crazy, right? You understand? Boom. So now we got all this, and everybody adding, everybody going on. Now folks want to add this, and God, we got the conspiracy theorists, and then we got those who want to be holier than thou, and then we got all those who want to quote Bible scriptures, and then we got all those who want to say that they prophesied. See, the Lord told me, I told it. We got all that going on. Okay, all of that going on for them to say, and a lot of it is coming from folks who don't like them to begin with, or jealous of the fact that he's here, or the whole idea of the church thing. How is it that you up here as a mega church that got all this damn money, but yet your communities are still looking the way that they do? And this is not to say you're not doing the work and you're not supposed to do it all. But yeah, all of this that you spouting and the money that you spending and D, how come it ain't going down here? You know, and that's what we're talking about. You know, You said, yes, my network is for that purpose, to give the whole picture, not just the sound bites. Oh, come on now. And even when we get the sound bites, we know how to say, listen, this is what's being reported now. This story is still unfolding. Right now, we can only speculate on ... because we don't have all the information. But you know what I'm saying? We're responsible enough to do that, and not trying to make it seem like the clip is the soundbite is the only thing that's out there, and that's the law. Speaking of sound bites, let's move on to this next piece, because I'm real tired. I'm so tired of folks jumping on this bandwagon to say that Taraji and OPRAH are feuding. I'm so tired of folks jumping on this wagon saying that because Taraji said what she said about underpayment and this, that, and the other, that, oh my God, OPRAH did it again. Oh my God, Monique was saying this for years about OPRAH, and y'all didn't listen. Y'all laughed at her. Y'all threw her up under the bus, but now Taraji said, now all of a sudden, you know what? Stop. Because it's not about, oh, now Taraji is saying it. Taraji been saying it. Because I went through YouTube and I put a couple of things up on my wall. Y'all go to my Facebook wall and scroll down and go to where I got Taraji up there. Taraji been saying this for a little piece of a minute about what it means to be in Hollywood and being underpaid. Well, when Monique was saying that didn't nobody run to her defense, I said no. When Monique was saying it, honey, Monique added that to her repertoire of what the fuck she was going through, because Monique's argument was not about her being underpaid in Hollywood, period. It was about her being underpaid at Netflix, and she called for Netflix for a ban on Netflix. She wanted us to jump on the bandwagon because she wasn't getting paid. That's not what Taraji said here. Taraji, Viola, I think Angela Bassett has said something a long time ago. These folks have been saying this for years. And now everybody want to jump on this thing. Oh, well, here we go, Taraji. Now all of a sudden Taraji's saying it. And, Oprah done sit up there, ain't paying her. And ain't nobody heard nothing. Ain't nobody heard that. Yes, Oprah is one of the producers on the show. But did y'all listen to when Oprah said they had to audition the director? And they had to audition this. The director said in that same interview that y'all want to keep quoting that she did on Gayle King, the director said, it's a shame that I don't have creative control to say this is who I want. I had to audition these folks because the people who holding the money, the other producers, the other executive producers, the distribution company, it ain't just Oprah. Everybody want to think that Oprah funded this. No, it ain't that. And then let me ask y'all this. Let me ask you this. Why would Gayle King, Oprah's best Judy, sit up there and ask her a question that will put her best Judy on defense and throw her up under the bus at any given time? Since y'all claiming they lesbians anyway and they lesbian lovers, why would she sit up there and do that to her girlfriend and purposely throw her under the bus? If she was talking about Oprah, Gayle didn't jump on it to defend it, and then she didn't come back in with a follow-up question. She didn't do none of that. So why would she purposely have Taraji on there to throw Oprah up on the motherfucking bus? Then there's a clip going around. Look at the body language. They at the Empire State Building. Taraji, she closed off, and Oprah come over. She not even touching her. Oprah not doing this. She done moved over to the other side. See, there's tension there between them. If y'all don't get the fuck up off of that, y'all doing too much. Because if you don't like Oprah, that's fine. You ain't got to like the woman. But y'all doing entirely too motherfucking much when it comes to this, because you got a sound bite and none ran with it. You got a sound bite and ran with it. Yet again. Okay? This whole Hollywood payment disparages thing, child, they have been doing this press run after the strike, and they were able to go by here to go promote this film. Oprah has been with them most of the damn time. Why would she sit down here and throw her under the bus? Why at this particular time would there not have been a conversation? And even so, catch it now. Because the director even said on that same interview with Gayle that they even had to fight for Taraji's pay on that, on The Color Purple. They had to fight for her pay. The director said that. So if the director is picked by Oprah and the team, so who else is on there? Because it's just not Oprah. Somebody else got purse strings, honey, that was like, And then she also said, I also get tired of y'all telling me that I don't have international appeal. So this is the industry. Y'all trying to make this about her and Oprah. And y'all jumping to conclusions yet again, and then want to throw Monique in. Well, Monique tried to tell y'all about that. She tried to tell y'all about Oprah. Ain't got shit to do with nothing. Y'all just reading something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Because y'all wanted to. And again, why? Why? But now I've been over Miss Thing Oprah when she said she won't interview rappers on her show and have one she gatekeeps, and she's another one that needs to come out and just open up and close it. Honey, we've been to like Queen Latifah. See? Well, that's been all under speculation, honey, and this, that, and the third. Whether she is or not ain't my business. That's between her and Stedman, honey. Okay? Because, hey, whatever. But a lot of that, and see, a lot of folks have been mad at her about that rapper thing or whatever, but she talked about that once. I remember her saying that, over the show and carrying on. I think when she sat down with Jay-Z, because she had to sit down with Jay-Z and this, that, and other, and that was part of the conversation. And a lot of her thing about the rappers was, the language and carrying on, the messages in the music and blah, 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 blah. And so she just said, fuck it, I'm just not going to deal with it. And that was her prerogative to do so. At the same time, being young, trying to understand what her audience was or whatever. It's kind of like the same thing when folks who were scared to book Louis Farrakhan on the shows. Because I don't even think she had Louis Farrakhan on the show. I know for me, she's only had Stephanie Mills on her show once, and it wasn't even a whole hour. She came on when BB Winans was on there, her favorite gospel singer. BB Winans was on there, had just dropped his album, and he and Stephanie had a duet on there. And she was just pregnant with Farad. Okay, and I was kind of pissed with how I felt she treated Stephanie, but that was just a personal thing for me. But as far as here's where it is. Let's go here. What about the body of work? Because we may not be able to like her politics or whatever the case may be, but what about the body of work? And I'm gonna throw that back on TD Jakes and everybody else, and Tyler Perry and all that. What about their body of work? Let's look at Bill Cosby. Everybody, and believe it or not, do you know somebody else, just before this damn shit, the statute of limitations had ran out? Do you know somebody else came out against Bill Cosby? Right when they said Jamie Foxx and all these other names that they were sitting up there talking about, somebody else came out against Bill Cosby. I said, if y'all don't cut that bullshit out, if you don't cut it out, stop it. Stop it, because when the 6,500 women came forth, you didn't come forth then. But now, girl, stop it. Okay? Because I don't want to hear, it's all about when they were ready. Bitch, you had a support group. 65 girls had come out. Support girls, stop. I'm sorry. Be mad at me if you want, but that one there pissed me all the way off. Okay? So, yeah. What about their body of work? See, this is what we're talking about as far as understanding I'm human and I made a bad decision. We always say, I'm human and I make mistakes. I make my share of mistakes. And that's become a catchphrase now, because when we got folks who make their set of mistakes, we quick to cancel them. I don't want to fuck with you no more. Nobody's allowing them to be human. And so now what does that do? Where are we with that? Where are we? And I'm not saying that that them being human is your calling card to say, oh, I like them, because you could still not like them. It's a number of folks I really don't care for, but I allow them to be human, because just like me, I don't think that I'm that bad of a person until somebody point out, bitch, no, you did this, and that was the furthest thing from my mind. But if it happened and I offended you, then we have to right the wrong. If it can be righted, how about that? Because sometimes it can. There are some things that may have just crossed the line, because whatever your deal breakers are, whatever this is, that's part of your personal collective. But like, you know what? No, okay, forgive you, but I got to cut ties here. This is where I get off. Bless you. Have a great life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just that way. That may not have been your intention, but sometimes that's just the thing. You understand? So, yeah. Okay. So let me go back. Okay, I'm right here. Right here. People forget Taraji is a supporting actor. You might be a popular name, but your scale pay depends on what your agent can fight for. I'm lucky my agent is pretty about scale fights. Okay. Is it pretty or pretty fair? Well, Taraji is more than a supporting actor. Now, Taraji now is up to leading lady status. It's where I know on television, because after Empire, Benjamin Buttons put her on as a supporting actor because she carried that with Brad Pitt. Empire, she was a lead. Okay. And so now up in there, whatever, she's at a point now to where her name now is box office. She could get box office status now. Now, it's not to say like Denzel or Viola, because Viola is the it girl now, but she could command that. And she was a lead in Hidden Figures. She was a lead in that. So no, she's more than she's beyond supporting actor right now. But to your point about the negotiations, yes, because in an interview just recently, she just said that she had to fire her entire team because during the time of Empire and carrying on, the #1 show, got all the numbers and carrying on. She said her team was not making sure she got all kinds of endorsements or whatever. She said, Cookie Line was into fashion, this, that, and others. Where are the endorsements? We got all these designers and stuff on the show. Where are the deals that to go forward to say, hey, she could do this, she could do it, to capitalize on the steam of the show. Everybody was about shit. They didn't even get her a fucking cookie deal. She could have been the next, hey, Cookie Man, what's in the box? For some damn cookie, since she was Cookie Lion. Ain't nobody. She did that at the award. Remember when she won the award? Was it the Emmys or whatever? And she come through and gave everybody cookies. Hello. That was something she did. Her team did. So she said she fired everybody. Okay. Okay. Because they want all our asses struggling and broke. Okay, can't fuck with that one. Here's my opinion. She doesn't have international appeal. Most roles she plays are almost identical. We love her, but she's not worth $5 million to me. And that's cool, Drina. I feel you on that. And that's something that she talked about too, as far as being too edgy. She was saying that, a lot of times she edgy and this, that, and the other. And in the beginning, yeah, that's all she got booked for, was the same type of role. That ghetto girl, Baby Boy, when she was in, all of that. She played that and this, that, and the other, which is why she wanted to expand. So when she got a Hidden Figures and she got Acrimony and, and all those other things that she was doing, it was able to expand her so she could come out of that stereotypical thing. So whatever it is she gets paid, I don't know what that is, but she was using 10 million as an idea. If you hear I get paid 10 million, where that 10 million off the top 50% is going to IRS. Okay, so now that makes me 5. And then 30% off the 10 million got to go to my team and Dr. D. Okay, so it becomes all of that. But okay. Okay, for real, Taraji is a bit delusional at stretching her international appeal, honey. Her role resume is not cookie. The civil rights person, the other movies were not all that, for real, to be honest. You didn't think so? All right, if that's how you feel, baby, I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue it because everybody's entitled to it. But nonetheless, she's box office. And however you feel, what it is that a Taraji movie sells because she's in it. She's gotten to that point now. And hey, whatever it is that she negotiates in her contracts, is still not up to par to where everybody else is being paid. Because as Black folks in Hollywood and carrying on, they still have not gotten to that point. Do you realize? Let me use this as an example, because right after this whole Monique thing was going on, Octavia just won the Oscar. Okay. And she said the movie she was in, I forgot, with the white girl. I forgot. Was it? I forgot who's the next movie she had did, but she ended up her co-star ended up helping her to negotiate her contract, because she realized that she was getting so far under to where when that guy finished, her co-star helped her get 5 times more than what she was getting. I was like, whoo, wait a minute. Okay. So the argument is about the pay. Okay. And to their counterparts. Now, how do you feel about her role over here has become, how she's been pigeonholed. And because of the work, hell, if she's in between jobs and need the coin, then she got to go where the money is. So it might be 150 or 200 here or whatever, because that's what it is. And I got to get the role, or I got to get work, because like she said with what was it? I think she said with Benjamin Buttons. Yeah, I think it was Benjamin Buttons. And I think she said she had gotten what? I forgot what she said it was. But she said, here's the other thing that you have to think about too. If I'm on a scene, I'm on a set, and this is my pay, I'm blocked for 5 months or however long it take the movie. So I can't do anything for until that's over. And she said at that time, she had to pay her son's tuition. Her son's tuition was $30,000 a month. So that's what she was paying, was paid for. So when that was over, now we got the rest of the bills and this, that, and the other to pay. So now she got to be on the grind and keep working. And so when we saw her in everything playing the same parts, because that's where the work was that she needed to work, So be that as it may, honey. Okay. What's this? Everybody piling on. Of course, everybody piling on, because hell, you know how it is. Because shit, you got your if you got a manager and a PR person, okay, then you got your glam squad, then you got your personal assistant, then you got your stylist. Okay, if you done got to that particular point. Now, in the beginning of all this, you probably just got a manager and a PR person. You got all your bills, your living arrangements are carrying on. If you got children, you got to take care of children and carrying on. But then, of course, as you get bigger and the team get bigger, because everything is out of hand and you need this, then it becomes, okay, now I'm a fucking company. I'm a corporation. And everybody got to get paid. So now I got to get paid so that they can get paid. I ain't mad at you. Okay, right. Taraji, clips are disappointing. It's not making me feel like I'm missing something. It's just an opinion. I know people who saw it and feel it's just okay. All right, I feel you, Gina. Okay, that's cool. That's fair. There's no right or wrong. If that's how you feel, that's cute. Okay, ain't no right or wrong. And then she may not be your cup of tea neither, because everyone ain't for everybody. So she may not be your cup of tea. And let's take Tyler Perry, because a lot of folks don't like Tyler Perry stuff. They think it's the same shit over and over and over and over, and we done got, all of us that got used to his formula or whatever, but everybody working. And prior to Acrimony, when she got Acrimony and was working with Tyler, was it Acrimony? I think it was Acrimony, or was it I Could Do Better by Myself? Because those are 2 Tyler Perry movies. Tyler was the one that was the first one to give her what she asked for. Okay? Because remember, Monique had referenced that. Okay, Monique referenced that because Tyler was like, well, I paid Taraji money, the most money she ever made. And Monique said, but is it fair? Did you pay her what she's worth? Because remember, they was having that conversation. And Tyler wanted to throw that, well, I paid Taraji that. And Monique was like, but did you pay her fairly? Or did you pay her because you was able to pay her more than she's ever been paid before? Was it fair? Now, we didn't get an answer to that, but that was something that Monique had referenced, okay? There's only 7 Black actors that is paid equivalent to white actors in Hollywood per the NAACP. Okay, yeah, 7. Okay, just joining in. Good evening, everyone. Hey, Tracy, what's going on, baby? My thought is when I speak on these folks, it's merely my commentary regarding a key part of their character. As you said, really tells you what you need to know of a person as a human. I got you, baby. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy, Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Kevin Hart. And not a woman is up in there. Now, how about that? You ain't said not one female name. Now, how about that? How about that, which supports the point? See? What gets me is why they waited for a Black film question and answer to fuss over Black films being cheap, especially when those films aren't big cash draws at the box office. I would have discussed that in the film platforms, like inside of the filmmaker studio, because this is going to get drowned in the gossip sensation rather than business moves. Now, Hodge, I can't fuck with that one because you're absolutely right. And it always seems that they like to do that when we got a movie that's on the buzz, right? Because this one, Taraji has not said nothing she haven't said before. I got clips dating back 6, 7, 8 years ago when she was saying this exact same thing. But now because Gail asked her, she said, what word in the street that you talking about? You may walk away, you may quit. Are you thinking about that? And then that's what she repeated herself that she said a long time ago, and that whole breakdown of the thing. But we talking about the color purple. Y'all trying to promote the color purple. But the question was about her quitting. You talking about quitting. Why? Well, her why was the answer. So now what's happening is this done became a whole big old to-do and then turned it to a feud that ain't got nothing to do with nothing because everybody talking about, oh, here go Oprah again. And that's the lie. It's the lie. See, they haven't got past colorism and not tackling that is the main reason they're not getting the endorsements because less talent of her stature getting the endorsements like crazy, i.e. Cardi B, Kim Kardashian. Girl, don't you make me holler. Don't you make me holler. You heard what I say? Did you hear me what I say? I said, don't you make me holler up in here. Okay? Oh, Samuel Jackson, not Kevin Hart. You got hurt. Okay. As we're moving on soon, we all got bills. No, are we moving on soon? We all got bills. Your employer don't give a fuck about your payouts. They care about the talent. They pay for the talent, not your purse holders. Okay, you know what, Gina? Hey. Okay. And there you have it. I like her for what she does. Okay, that's cute. Okay. Did I tell you I had Nick Cannon love child? I'm going to write a book after I sue him. Girl, okay, Jan, I'm going to hit you with a wet noodle, girl. I'm going to hit you with a wet lasagna noodle. Bottom line, stop believing they're going to ever give us what they paid them, period. We must do all this for ourselves, and I must take us back to the theme and storyline of Dolomite. He gave us the blueprint to not even having this conversation. We would have it the way they have it with the support. You know what? That movie there, Eddie Murphy playing him, that's one of my, I watch that movie religiously, honey, and I get emotional all the time because you're right. And this is something that Nikki Gilbert Daniels, Nikki from Brownstone, with her company, Worth TV, WIRF, Women in, wait a minute, what's the R stand for? Something in film. I forgot what the R stand for, but it's Worth TV. Okay, she created that for that reason, so that we can understand ownership, so that we can understand what's going on. They can't do nothing without us. This is how Tyler Perry has what he has, because of ownership. Okay, because he did not take no for an answer. Hollywood didn't want him green lighted or whatever, so he did it himself. And so now look at where he is. Now, whether we agree with his content or not, the thing of it is that he owns it. He owns everything about that. Okay, so bada boom. And you're right. So here's where it is, because we hear about all these production companies that carrying on. Everybody got their own little production company. Okay, that's cute. So you're able to produce and da 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 dee. But now what's coming of it? What are the stories? Because here's where the content comes into play, right? Now I'm looking at this, and maybe I'm pipe dreaming, because I'm very optimistic and carrying on. And I think, I don't want to say it's a downfall, because it's never a downfall. What it is that it has me, I have to take the rose-colored glasses off from time to time. If we all know this, and we all know it takes money to make money, right? We all know this. At the same time, we also know that green lighting our own stuff or whatever, we also know coming in, our budgets are not all that way. So if we have a number of Black-owned companies and things of that nature, okay, to where I could go over here and do a low-budget film or whatever, you know what I'm saying? How come I can't get the hookup over here to where the contract is like we do everything else? Theater do it all the time. You got to sell your own tickets in order to get paid or whatever, because if the money not up front, we got to do this work, and then you get paid on the back end. Well, hell, if we're doing a low-budget film, how come we can't sit down here and work together with the Black companies and the Black this and the Black that, so we can have our own? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was about to say, so I'm a whole. I'm the other proud of that I'm a whole, because it's an idea that I'm working on, and I got to see how that works. I just got to see how that works. Yeah. Okay. You could never say I don't like her, because I do like her for what she does. Okay. Okay, she said, well, you can't say I don't like her, baby. Okay. Viola talking about the disparity, even with good English, and they still ain't giving no fucks. Well, and there you have it. Okay. And there you have it. And Viola ain't too hard, because she got to keep her bag secure. And she ain't going too hard. Well, you know what? She went hard enough when she said, okay, I was called the Black Meryl Streep, but yet I'm not getting paid like her. She went hard enough when she did that. And I think that, yeah, we made it. We made it. We have it all already, and not doing it together. Multiple small companies make a conglomerate, so we have no excuses. Kenya, I can't fuck with that one either, because you're right. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right with that. Absolutely right. So that there was that. So, all right. All right. I just wanted to get that off me, because I'm so tired. Everybody got this. They're going in the wrong direction with this conversation. As far as I'm concerned, they trying to make this. They putting this against Oprah and this. They trying to bring Monique's ass up in this. When Monique said it, y'all didn't do nothing with Monique. Y'all should have stood behind Monique when she said it. We should have stood behind everybody when everybody was saying it back in the day. Now, Monique's situation was a little different, and that's what everybody keep forgetting. Monique's situation was different because she was sitting up there doing other things, and then she added on the whole, well, they not paying us, and I'm trying to get fair pay, and that came later. That came later when she realized nobody was going to boycott Netflix for her ass. So now it became, oh, I'm fighting for all of us because the pay disparity. And as an Oscar winner, well, hell, that was one of the conversations she had with Tyler. If we remember correctly, Tyler was saying, well, now, if you get nominated, you're going to be up for this. But if you win it, then you're going to be up for that, to be getting paid this. Well, okay. If that's the case, then okay, fine. So they gave her some parameters, but this is still that. Okay, we've been talking about that and talking about it. So now what? So this whole thing with Taraji, honey, is about the system. Don't put that up again. Oh, here she goes. She done cussed out Oprah and Oprah. This ain't got shit to do with that. This ain't got nothing to do with that, honey. It's the entire industry itself. Okay? The entire industry. So now, having said all that, my final thought, have you guys went to go see The Color Purple yet? I'm gonna try not to give spoilers or whatever if you're not seen it, because it just came out Monday. Today is only Wednesday. I saw it yesterday. If you saw my posting up on Facebook, in fact, let me just read it for those who haven't seen it. I'm gonna read it, and I think I'm gonna leave it there, because if I start to break it down, then I'm gonna end up having spoilers and carry on. And I want y'all to see it on your own. But yeah, y'all really need to see this movie. Okay, you really need to see it. So let me pull it up. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up here because somebody tagged me. They shared it, and I said this about the movie. I went to the 10:45 showing of this magnificent piece of cinema. When I tell you that this will become a classic in the same respect as The Wiz and Dreamgirls, I mean every word of it. This movie sends us on a journey of self-empowerment. Actually, it is the embodiment of the second principle of Kwanzaa, Kujichagulia, self-determination. This film gives us the grit of, quote, the struggle is real. It gives us the excitement of overcoming obstacles and giving witness to whom God or your higher power is in your life. It gives us the enrichment of storytelling with the songs and how they are presented in the movie, with purpose and not gratuitous. It gives us a coming of age between a man and his son. It gives us the yearning for daddy's love and affection while still understanding one has their own life to live. It gives us reconciliation. It gives us forgiveness. It gives us karma. It gives us fantasy and the ability to hope for the best while dealing with the mess. It gives us a special cameo appearance. It just gives. I can't say enough about this movie, and I implore you to go and see The Color Purple and be prepared to have your emotions raucous and shooketh. That's what I wrote on the Facebook page today. Okay, or yesterday rather. And yeah. Okay, if you've not seen it yet, I want you to understand, please do not go in there looking for an exact replica of the original. The original is the original. It stands alone. It has its own bar, its own precedent. It's in a class of its own. Okay, it's in a class by itself. The new adaptation is the adaptation from the Broadway musical and what they did in the musical and turned it into a film. Okay, so the music helps to tell the story. We get to see Celie in a different way. We get to see her fantasize about some things, honey, how life should be in this dynamic. We get to see Mr. and Harpo. You know, we get to see their dynamic. We get to see between Mr. and old Mr. We get to see their dynamics, okay? We get to see brand new nuances with Sophia, okay? We get to even see Suge, honeybee, Suge, baby. This is everything. This here is everything. It is everything. It is everything. I implore you to go see it. And I'm gonna do another breakdown, because as I was talking to it, I was talking to it with Alabama here, y'all. So I was talking with him, and as I got into one scene, that I got to crying and boohooing again just talking about it, because it was such an emotional scene for me, and it just helped me to realize some things. And y'all heard me say that I get upset when I hear Black women here talking about I'm a strong Black woman, and you really don't understand the implications of that. Because there's some Sophia goes through that, and we see it, and we get to experience that. We get to experience the emasculation, real emasculation of a Black man. Okay, what does that mean in a time where, as powerful as I am in the boxing ring, I'm powerless because I can't do anything here. And if I try to do something here, then they're gonna kill me, my woman, and my children, simply because they can. So it is very, 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 very powerful. It is so powerful. It is so powerful. And there's a special cameo in there, honey. That child. Oh, okay. That's everything. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm telling y'all, go see it. And go see it. And go see it. And when it come out, I'm gonna buy the DVD. I have to buy it because I just need to have that in my wheelhouse. Okay. So yeah, let me go to the comments. Oh, okay, yeah, I read that one already. Meach, Mrs. Tyson was in more films than any Black female, and she never made $1 million until she worked for Tyler Perry. Exactly the point. Exactly. And see, it was us doing it for us, DC. It was us doing it for us. You understand? And even Cicely talked about not making the money. So this conversation about the page spread, it's always been there. She talks about it a long time ago, and it's in her book. Okay, was a child by? If they don't have them African kids, I ain't going. You so damn dumb. Actually, they do. I went to see The Color Purple today. I cried, I laughed. I really understood why it's called The Color Purple. It is a must see. Come on, Emmanuel. What you say, darling? How? I'm gonna say this. I pray one day that I have the same support from my supporters that OPRAH, not OPRAH. Okay, I won't spend my coin to support listening to us sing about struggle and overcoming tragedies. I'm looking for some Black folk stories about kings and queen legacies, etc. I'm tired of billionaires rewash our traumatic experiences. It's enough trauma. We need some triumphs. I'm sorry. You know what? I don't know how I feel about that, Kenya. I'm gonna let you have that though, because I'm. It's easy for me to jump on you because I'm reading and I need to hear this in your voice. Because I know you're not saying it the way that it's translating in the written word. Because I know this is full of compassion. Because I hear where you're going, and I understand what you mean. What I'm going to say is this: we have examples of it, but we don't accept it because we don't accept Tyler Perry. Tyler don't talk about what he does, but he also shows us opulence and carrying on in some of his pieces. We have other places in carrying on to where when we show us as opulence and carrying on, let's take the movie Hoodlum. Okay, when it talks about Bumpy, what was Bumpy's last name? Bumpy, Lawrence Fishburne played him. But when we talk, anytime we talk about opulence and carrying on and kings and queens or whatever, it never comes into a light where it is respected. Because even the movie about Idi Amin, honey, Idi Amin was wonderful, but he not necessarily a tyrant. He was misunderstood. But even that got overshadowed by a lot of the stuff that he did. You know what I'm saying? It got misconstrued. And a lot of times when we have those kind of things that show us in different lights or whatever, let's take even all of the stuff that have us as you know, doing well or whatever. Any of the movies, any of the urban movies to where, all the girls, if we're successful Black people, owning the companies that carrying on, that we ain't never got, our relationships ain't never right. We always looking for love in all the wrong places to carry on. I'm thinking through the hardware and carrying on. Vivica and them was lovely, honey. They owned the company. They was this, they was that. You know, they were opulent. You know what I'm saying? As far as understanding us and our heritage, when you're talking about, instead of reworking stuff and always going to the slave movies and carrying on, and always talking about, you know, period pieces. Where are the period pieces that show us in our heyday? I would love to see somebody talking about Queen Nzinga. You know, where are our African gods? You know, what about movies about them? You know, showing Osiris and carrying on or whatever. You know, those are stories that have to be that are never talked about and never told or whatever. You know, what about a whole sci-fi about how Osiris come to be? We got the Ten Commandments. We got Charlton Heston throwing the Ten Commandments down all the time, don't we? Where are the stories of Osiris and all the African gods and carrying on? Where's the real story about what voodoo really is? Because it's not the witchcraft that they're trying to make us believe that it is. You know what I'm saying? Where are those stories? So I hear you. At the same time, where are we, the writers and stuff, who say that they want it? Because I'm not seeing the writers do it. Everybody who's writing and carrying on, they writing in their wheelhouse because they write what they know. So do we not know our history? Do we need to do research? Or do we need better writers? Okay. Do we need a better arsenal to pull from? You know what I'm saying? Because I know for me, as a writer, I'm coming from an LGBT perspective, but I'm also coming from a real place about what's going on. It's not necessarily, you know, the struggles and the tragedy and, oh my God, you know, I don't want to talk about fucking Stonewall. Okay, because that's not, listen, we got enough stories about Stonewall as far as I'm concerned. I don't need to have another spin on goddamn Stonewall, honey. Okay, I got to talk about my now. Okay, we're going to talk about anything about my history. Let me start back when I first came out, what that was and how I came to here, what that was as a teenager, what that looked like, so that folks can understand that this was a real story. You understand? Let me talk about sexual addiction and what it looked like, so that folks can understand that it's real. You understand? So when I'm telling stories, a lot of us are pulling from what we know. So we got to get writers out there who want to tell the story, who know the story. You know what I'm saying? And here's something that's cute. That's cute to that point. We got the whole the NOI, the Nation of Islam, and that's all they talk about. Is this and the other? Where are their writers and their movie producers and carrying on? Since they power to the people, where they at? Where are they? Because it's easy to criticize Oprah and Tyler and all the other children. It's easy to do that because they're the ones out front. But where are those children who are independent filmmakers that we haven't heard of yet that say, hey, I got a story? You know, we got all these platforms out here to where somebody could hear about a story somewhere, you know? So, yeah. You know, wait a minute, where am I? Okay, I'm right here with Gina. Maybe the problem is TCP is what we want, is what we wanted out to do the original, and it can't. Or what we wanted to outdo the original, and it can't. So look at it for what it is, and for what it's worth. Okay, you know what? And I think you're right. Okay. The whole thing of it is not the and it floors me that folks are saying, I just heard this today. Somebody said, oh, I didn't know this was going to be a musical. Bitch, Fantasia is the lead character. When have you known Fantasia to ever be an actress? She's a singer. So somewhere in there, that bitch gonna sing. So how do you not know it's a musical? Okay. But you're right. A lot of us are trying to put something into this when they need not. Okay, they need not. And that's just the end of humanity, honey, because I'm not gonna call folks stupid. I'm just gonna say that's just humanity, honey. Folks they're gonna do and expect the shit that they want to expect. And then when they get there, either you like musicals or you don't. And it's just gonna be one of those things. I was in a discussion, in fact, on what I just read, y'all, on my wall. Somebody was like, well, I don't know because I don't do, oh, and you referenced the Wiz and Dreamgirls, and oh, they were horrible. I said, well, then you don't like musicals. I said, no, I like Les Miserables. And I said, oh, and I didn't want to say, okay, bitch, I see what this is. You don't like black musicals. That's what I wanted to say. But I didn't go there because you name all these other Phantom of the Opera, Les Miserables. Well, bitch, okay, those are classics. Okay? And when it comes to us and our stuff, now all of a sudden it's not done right or it's done too much or this, that, and the other. And it can. But The Wiz is a cult classic. Now, it wasn't box office. It did not do well in the box office. It was considered to be a box office failure back in the day. Now, black folks, we went and supported it. But at the time, we wasn't enough to get it over the edge to where it was blockbuster. It's a cult classic now. Dreamgirls, it was box office cuteness, and it's a cult classic. And because of the Broadway play, this, that, and the other. But I wanted to say that to her in that thing. Oh, I see what this is, honey. You don't like black musicals. Okay. But then she cleaned it up and was like, no, well, a lot of stuff that is on the stage doesn't translate well as a movie. And I can get that. I can see what I can get that or whatever, because after I saw Rent as a play, and I love Rent. I own the soundtrack. I think I got both of them, the Broadway soundtrack and the movie soundtrack. But when I watched the movie, it was a little different because live theater is live theater. And again, that's something that's it's its own bar. Because when you're there and you're interacting, you feel the energy of it. And like, as passionate as I am, and like, I'm one who talks to the screen when I'm involved in something. And if I'm in the show, honey, I talk to the actors, and I try not to do it, so loudly to be a distraction, but I get into it. And if you can feel that energy as an actor, I know what that is, because we feed off of that. We need that because that's what's getting us going. Because on film, I don't know if you like it or not. I'm trusting the camera to get the angles, and I don't have to do all that because the camera gonna zoom in and zoom out, this, that, and the other. When I'm on stage, honey, I got to make sure that the person who is on the top balcony, way in the back, up at the they get to see me, they get to hear me, they got to feel all this, and I'm feeling you at the same time. So if you're not giving me positive energy or whatever, I can feel about that, and that's going to affect the performance, because we're going to give you what you give us. We're going to mirror that energy. So it's nothing like live theater. So I get when they say that translating into a movie, it loses its essence, and I can understand that. But at the same time, because I'm an actor and I know how to separate it, because when you're doing it and you got to rehearse it and rehearsing and keep rehearsing and keep rehearsing, then you got to go perform this damn thing. You got to still make it fresh. So I'm able to hear, like, because I had said, why don't you get the soundtrack? The soundtrack has been released. And maybe if you listen to the music and get into the music, maybe you can then go and see the show. And and no, I can't do that because then I'll be anticipating the song and not paying attention to the performance. Okay, bitch, you know what? Fine. She said, "Well, it's okay. This may not be my cup of tea." And I said, "Yeah, you're right, because not everything gets for everybody. Because ain't no need any time. I'm giving suggestions and ideas, not saying that you're wrong, but bitch, you sit up there. Oh my God, the Wiz and Dream. Oh, they were both horrible, just horrible. Ugh. Okay, fuck you too, honey. Because okay, you just don't like black musicals. Let's keep it that way. Okay." And blase yakety. And then here's the other thing, because when folks hear musicals, they think Tyler Perry play. Let me put it out there. They think Tyler Perry play, and every 2 words you're going to send out and break out into a damn song. Okay? Just because you hired all these singers who can act and versus actors who can sing. Okay, so now everybody got to come out here, you trying to bring the house down and this, that, and the other, blase, 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 blase. Versus letting the songs carry and tell the story. Now I'm trying to give this fabulous performance. The songs got to carry the show. you know, but okay. So that there be that. Okay. Woo. All right. You can say, yes, I'll see it. Okay, right. Okay, right. You right. I need to speak on it. Okay. Bumpy Johnson. Thanks, DC. That's how I couldn't think of his last name. But you understand me. Oh, yeah, I got you, baby. I got you. I'm just saying this can come from the top. Oprah doing this with her influence, a remake of Cleopatra, and yes, the Bible, anything. Just reworking trauma. That's all I'm saying. You understand me? Yes, I get it. 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 Uh what we see, what we soon forget is we're the no, okay. I'm gonna you know what? The Negrostinians are living in a genocidal Gaza in America. Well, you know what? That's deep, DC. And you okay, now you stretching for that, but okay, I'm gonna let you have that. Okay. And don't mind me, I'm addicted to Tubi movies. Aha! You know what? But Tubi is a platform, honey, that lets the independent artists, honey, do everything. So you get a lot of stuff on there that you won't see, in mainstream or whatever, because there are a lot of independent movies and you get new thought ideas and carried on, fresh ideas, So it's wonderful for those of us who are looking to get out there and to create content and to create, intellectual property and carry it on, honey. It's wonderful for that. So yeah, it's cute. It's cute. As someone pointed out, if folks today can't get their information about a movie in a quick social media blip, they have no clue what to expect. Hence why some are clueless that This Color Purple film is a musical. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I can't tell with that one. They got to come out of these Ivy schools and institutions looking for writers, I think, and check out these community colleges and community program authors, etc., and give them an opportunity with pay, of course. You might see the writers that are missing to write these stories, but I know, and maybe folks not from these schools or institutions that submit their work along with these lines and get discouraged and their scripts overlooked, told they won't get it financed or endorsements, and we're back to square one. You know what? Here's the thing. Part of that becomes now we have to go and take the independent route, and this is where the hustle come in and trying to find the money, because as you know, that's my next move. As a director, as an actor, as a producer, and carrying on, that's my next move. I was working on a project while I was in school called Urban Camping. And we had the money, but then the guy who gave us the money snatched it from us. And then trying to raise the money was ridiculous. And then life got to life, and so we had to put the project down or whatever. But it was my instructor's piece, right? And we did it as a class project. And because she liked what I had done with it, she asked, she wanted to bring it up and try to direct the whole movie and things. So, but we have to now get into finances. See, here's the other part of that. Those who got that kind of money, you got the Beyoncés, the Jay-Z's, the Tylers, the O'Shea Jacksons. Okay, those who got the coin. You got the Urban Magic Johnsons, and those who got that kind of coin, who could set up bank. Will Smith and all them children, they got bank to where they could finance small films. You're talking about an independent film can be done for 50,000. You could do 100,000. Actually, give me 500. Okay, if you give me 500 and I can apply for that because you done set up a fund for it, as a series even. If we work it right, okay, because hey, we got sound stages everywhere. And that's the other thing, because a lot of the plays that you saw that turned into little videos or whatever, they were using sound stages. Okay, so you get a sound stage or whatever, honey. We could do this, we could do that, and make some shit happen, so that we can have product, But it's about the funding. So a lot of that, honey, can come into the funding as well, because we don't always have to be the producers, honey. Be the fiduciary. Okay, you could be the bank. sit there and be the fiduciary. And if we don't make good on it, then hell, the product is yours, you know, and carry on. Or we can sit down there, and you know, it become a grant or whatever, and we could get the coin that way, you know. Tubi is owned by Fox Media. Yes, it is. I just found that out recently, honey. I gagged when I found that out. I fucking gagged. I was like, really? Okay. Hey, Park, what's going on, baby? You know what? How are you down there on the island, honey? On lovely old Hawaii. Okay. Y'all good over there? All right. Now, children, I wasn't trying to be on here this long because this was a big Meach moment. This wasn't dishing tea. This was just a big Meach moment. But I feel as though I've been purged now. I have an exhale moment. Whew, yeah, I feel like, okay, we done birthed that baby, honey, and I got it up off of me because it's been eating me and carrying on with because it's ridiculousness and things and you know, and since I have a platform where I can address it like this versus trying to have computer courage or whatever, clicking and clicking and clicking and things, and we end up going back and forth over trivial shit. You know, we can put perspective here, okay, and be real with it and be understandable, and it's okay to disagree, but just do it in love, okay, do it in love, and allow folks to have their own opinions and carry on, because that's what it is. A lot of folks want their opinions to be heard and respected. I don't necessarily have to agree with it, but I can respect it. But okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you have that, boo. Okay, I hear you, but I may have to let you have that. Or, you know what? Damn, I ain't thought about it like that. Hold up, let me process that. Cause that's okay. Hold on, baby, because I got wow. It could be all of that, and that's what we need more of. Okay. So having said all of that, why don't they think? Why don't they think you think back to my Dolomite dream, thinking we can? Oh, you know what? I don't know, baby. Why don't they? Because, honey, they need to, don't they? They need to. They need to, and that's something that's something that could be put out there, you know, as a suggestion box. All of us can flood all of their little Instagrams and carrying on. How come y'all ain't funding nothing? You know, y'all got all y'all Overbrook Productions and carrying on. Y'all said that they're trying to do the big stuff where the money is in independent films. That's where the coin is. Okay, that's where the coin is in the independent market. You know, giving directors and new actors and carrying on all these babies and all the new babies coming out of school, new directors, new this, and they need an opportunity. You know, they need an opportunity to be seen. And this is where this is. See, everybody trying to get to cons and this, that, and that. They want to get in film festivals, and that's still good. That's still gravy. But now, you know, and that's expensive, trying to get in the damn cons so that they can be seen and to get the cons awards and blah, 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 blah. Or to get down to, which I still have not gone to, down in Miami, the Black Film Festival. Okay. They're trying to get the films and the projects and stuff seen down there. They're trying to get down in the network and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's cute. But we have new platforms now to where all of that can be done here. Hell, if you can't make it to the Black Film Festival, whatever, how come they haven't started streaming that shit? They do everything else. You pay a streaming fee, honey. They could stream that and we could still be there. We could get the information. You could do a workshop online. If I can't get to Miami, but they ain't done that yet. I'm just saying. Okay. Here in Atlanta, we got the Bronze Film Festival here. Okay. That's an area that we can sit down there and target and be like, listen, how come we can't get these folks to sit up there and create a fund to where they can create scholarships and carry on for low budget films and indie films or whatever? You know, the philanthropy could come up through there, they can fund it. And hell, okay. And you don't have to, you can start slow, honey. Okay, y'all know what 50,000 is basically a going rate to do theater and a short movie or whatever. So hell, make the grants. Give folks to sit up there. And once a year, we get folks to donate into this, and we give out X amount of grants, and you can apply for this to get your project done. I'm just one person. But on that note, my darlings, listen, let me get together. I've been talking a lot. It's almost, I've been on here for 2 hours, child. Wow. Ain't had nothing, before coming on here, child. Now I have a little drink or something here. So I'm parched and I've got to go and get something to drink and carry on. Put a little something on my little tummy, tum. Relax because starting tomorrow, darling, mm, mm. I got this hateful run at the JOB. And then on January 2nd, I keep forgetting that I switched around my work schedule because January 2nd, 2024, here in College Park, Georgia, we will set history. Baby, we are going to set history. We are going to set history because this is going to be the inauguration of our newly elected officials and the inauguration of the re-elected mayor. Y'all know I ran for mayor and she won, the incumbent won. But this is going to mark for the first time in history. College Park, Georgia has been a city, I believe, since 1896 or 94, somewhere up in there. And for the first time in the history of this city, we are going to have an all-Black elected official court. Mayor, all 4 council seats, Black. The city manager, Black. The city attorney, Black. The city clerk, Black. The city HR director, Black. For the very first time. And again, I've made history because as an openly gay African-American man, I'm the first openly gay Black man to run for the office. So yeah, I'm in the history book still. So baby, this entire election was completely historic. And I've got to be there to watch my sisters put their hand and say, I do swear, solemnly swear to protect and serve and whatever, and live up to the charter and all of that of the city of College Park. So I got to go watch them do that. Okay. And bask in that, So it's a new day. As y'all see what's scrolling on the bottom, that's my mantra for 2024. I'm opening every door and I'm gonna beat the high score. I'm beating the high score in 2024. You guys prepare for 2024. Get ready for your new year. Get ready for whatever that means to you. Whatever that means to you. Okay. Go in there and purge. Purge. And it's time to prune your gardens, darling. Prune your gardens. Get rid of those weeds, whatever is choking the plant. Get rid of it. Toil the soil if need be, honey. If you see that you don't have a good crop this time, honey, start over, replant. This is that time. This is that time, okay? This is that time. That's what Kwanzaa really is. The 7 principles of Kwanzaa is about that. It's about taking that. This is what it means, the first fruits. You understand? And understanding what that means. And I swear to you, for June 2024, that's Black Music Month. We got Juneteenth. And I swear to you, I want to have a Kwanzaa celebration at Juneteenth during Black Music Month. Because that's the middle of the year. We're 6 months in, and I want to culminate just us as Black folks all day long. So as we celebrate Juneteenth, I want to do a Kwanzaa celebration as well. So where we're lighting the Ingu Saba, all 7 candles, and revisiting the principles and see where we are, because June is the halfway point. Where are we? And we can still get on board, and we can still do, and we can still dream, and we can still. You understand? So that there is that. So having said all that, my darlings, I'm going to let you guys go. And all of that. So until we meet again, honey, I am Big Meach, and this here has been a Big Meach moment. Until the next time, love, we'll talk with you guys soon. Ciao. Mwah.